Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to paint a loose and simple beach scene, and I've divided the canvas into 3 segments for the sky, sea and sand. To start off, let's use cyan to wash in the sky, leaving a bit of clean white space for a few scattered clouds. I'll splash some water in there and smooth things out. See if I can create a gradient that's darkest at the top and softly fades out down towards the horizon. Let's fluff up these clouds with a mix of indigo and violet, brushing that in at the base, which suggests that the sun is nice and high. Maybe it's just gone noon. We'll work on the sea next. A beautiful, brilliant green for this. Wash that all over this section and leaving the edge that meets the shoreline slightly uneven and broken. A bit of that green has gone and escaped into the sky. I'll mop that up with some kitchen roll. And actually that's worked out okay. By sucking up more colour, it's softened up the skyline, making it feel even more distant and open. Lovely, okay. Now let's deepen the brilliant green in a few more areas. Let that feather out. And in stark contrast to the sky, the sea actually gets darker the further back we go. So we'll use a deeper concentration of brilliant green. And now let's dip into Prussian blue for a bit of an accent. I think I'm going to circle back to the sky while the paint's still wet and use more kitchen roll to dab out some areas. Create a few more light patches of cloud. Right, now we'll paint in the sand with Indian yellow. I'm using some of my favourite colours today for each of these sections. Cyan, brilliant green, and now this lovely shade of yellow. build up the tone with yellow ochre. Allow that to mix and settle in to add some weight. And you'll see that I'm leaving some white space between the sand and the sea. I want to keep that little pocket open for some little splashes and light foamy breaks. And of course, the water will be absorbing into the sand and darkening it. So I'll try to convey that by brushing in burnt umber, and that'll gently bleed outward. I think that's settling in nicely. Okay, now we'll work on the water lapping up against the shore. I'm going to use brilliant green for this and keep the brush relatively dry, just trying to feel my way with it, figuring out how these little rolling waves might look as they meet the sand. Okay, I think that placement works, so I'll begin softening that up with some water. Activate the paint and let it move around a bit. Giving that a bit of a scrub so it blends nicely with the sand. And let's go back to the burnt umber and start suggesting some darker areas where the water has lapped up against the shore before gently receding. Creating a few shapes that might just suggest that movement. And I want things to look a bit more organic and wild. So I'm going to get messy now and flick some white paint around and see what that does. I like that. It gives a bit of natural sea spray and energy. Let's work in more of that white and let it explore its surroundings. I'll create a few foamy marks along the beach where the water is gently washing the sand, dragging back and forth in thin, uneven lines. We'll just define the back of those little rolling waves a bit more. A little hint of that slight curl before they fall flat. And I think that all works rather nicely together. A very loose and relaxing beach scene with warm sea and blue skies. I hope you enjoyed the painting, and I'll catch you again soon.